Welcome to Conversations with Jen and Mel. This show is about real life with real people, having real conversations, from better health to mental health and more. Let's check out the conversation right now with your host, Jen and Mel.
Okay, so we left off. Wait, what was the title? A man who finds a wife. When a man finds a wife.
When a man finds a wife.
We left off. You're talking about how a woman is cultivated.
Or that was a conversation, you know, or is that part of it? Is that part of it when a man can see a glimpse of something that says, oh, like they say, she's wifey material, you know, and so I see something in her. Mm-hmm. Maybe I see something in her that reminds me of me, you know. Maybe I see something in her that is worth pouring into, you know. And so when he marries her, that means if he understands the importance of marriage and understanding the role as a husband, even if as he becomes that, he says, I see something that I want to die for. Mm-hmm. Now, is she worth dying for? Is that
the question that you're trying to answer when you say, when a man finds a wife? Is she worth dying for?
Is she worth dying for? So, husbands...
See, because I think maybe it's because of the generation that I come up in. Men marry women to either have their children, raise their children, or be they arm piece. Was they thinking that deep about what they can cultivate and die for? Is that what y'all be asking yourself before you? Because maybe that's why people ain't getting married. They don't want to die for nobody.
So, wait a minute. So, that may be true. But hold on. But what she just said was, when a man marry a baby mama...
His baby mama, though.
His baby mama. He find himself a good thing and obtain favor. That's what she said.
That is not what I said.
That's the reality of what she said.
The reality?
She said when a man marries a woman, he think is capable enough to be having his babies.
I'm asking the question because that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
That men married somebody because they wanted to have children and they thought this woman would raise their children the way they want their offspring to come out.
Okay, so then so maybe are you saying that they ever saw a wife, or did you see that they saw a mother to their children? Do you think that did they consider themselves in that? Like, oh, I think she cute and she would be a good mama?
I think so, probably.
Or did you think
some of them? I don't know. I'll take that back. Some of them maybe didn't.
Okay.
Did you watch The Color Purple? I'm just asking. Did you watch it?
Yes, the old one and the new one.
He did not marry because he was trying to cultivate her into something. He married because he needed somebody to take care of them kids and clean that nasty house they was living in. That's what he married her for. And because he couldn't have her sister that he wanted.
This ain't Rachel and Leah. This ain't...
Yes, it was, though. He wanted the other sister. And Daddy said, no, you can take this one. And he said, okay. And when he brought it there, he said, do something with this house. And these is my boys. Get to taking care of them. Get to being a mama.
Wait a minute.
And he could have married.
Okay, so today, Most women don't want to be bothered with their own babies. So if you marrying a woman to come and take care and raise your babies, then you probably want to hire a nanny.
Oh my goodness.
I'm saying women are capable of doing that, but you just
They are.
but you
I'm
really
saying I don't know if men are thinking that deeply about, oh, I see something in her that I want to cultivate when they get married. I don't think that's the reason. I never heard no man say that's why you got married.
that he saw her potential of her being a wife, or okay, all right. So did he just see a wife then versus her potential? Did he see who she was and not just a potential of her? Did he see her and say, "Oh, she's a wife"?
I think that's more likely to happen than I'm gonna marry her and cultivate her into me.
So, but do we say that we're going to cultivate someone when we see who they are and it's an epiphany, and we say, you know what, I want to help them.
Like, okay, when women get married, they may end up in that supportive role because they see potential in him. Women marry men all the time because they see potential.
Mm-hmm.
And they play the supportive role.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it work out. Sometimes it don't.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying men do the same thing?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Men do the same thing. They support. How many men supported women through careers and supported them to a certain place, and then when a woman got, oh, listen, I know, so yeah, or extended the opportunity because they saw that their wife was unhappy with her mere existing, and said, you know what, whatever it is that you need, if you want to go back to school, I'll pay for it, I'll watch the kids, I'll do, so you can, better your life.
That does happen, but I don't think that happens for men until afterwards. I don't think they go into it saying, I'm going to be the house dad so you can.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some from different affluence or. But I don't think, are they having.
How many times do you see a man and he marries a woman and you look like, how did she
I haven't seen that often.
get?
For me, that has been rare that I saw somebody and was like, how'd she pull that?
Oh no, and it happens. I can't say it today, but it happens a lot, and there's times where it's happened a lot in the church.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
In the church. I've only seen that one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see it the other way around all the time.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. We do, I must say we do it far more than men do. But I see men all the time just, in relationships where because men are visually inspired.
Yes, they are.
Inspired. And so they may have certain things and attributes where they say, well, you know what? They meet those things and those expectations. Oh, and I see, and I can support them in the rest. They can become the rest. But they meet my main requirements. They look like I need them to look. Mm-hmm. They feel like I need them to feel. Mm-hmm. And the rest I can build on.
And for you think they're saying, I'm going to send her to school and she's going to become an attorney?
No, I'm saying that while they're building, whatever that is, it doesn't matter if of her desire is to become the world's greatest mom, or the world's greatest cook, or the world's greatest janitor, or whatever her desire is, whatever is in her, because we're all called to do something different.
Now, I hope y'all men comment on this session tonight, because I'm curious. I want to know. Are you married?
How many of you all dated somebody and you said, "Oh, she cute. I see the potential of her, and I might consider because I see her potential."
Them, they stop at the, "Oh, she cute." Not, she has potential. I don't think so. Maybe I think y'all are shallow still.
And some of them are. Some of them are. Some of them are very shallow. And so, and when we have this conversation, and you know, my points of reference is my husband never married me. He married my ex-husband. Now my husband, this one, he just ooh wee. We ain't gotta talk about him. And
no, that's what we want to talk about is the ooh wee, not
no, but the ex. My ex-husband didn't marry me. He didn't marry the me that I was then. He married what he saw as my potential. I looked good on paper. Didn't have any kids. Never been married. You know. Had some form of education. I was cute in the face. But I was a 22 in the waist. He couldn't get with that. He figured if I can just fix that part of it, she'd be a trophy wife. So he spent his whole time, didn't matter how many figures I made, trying to fix the 22 in the waist and make a 10 in the waist. So he spent all his time trying to make me into something because he wanted to cultivate that in me, except he didn't know how. He didn't know how to do it with love.
Mm-hmm.
I'll break you into it.
Oh my goodness.
Break you.
Run, girl, run. No.
So
okay.
I think that sometimes we marry potential. And we don't know how to foster potential. And then we get frustrated and give up. You know? And so I think that sometimes men marry potential.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. They marry potential. And then the responsibility of him to cultivate that, it's on him.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. You think they marry potential? I don't.
I do. Sometimes I do.
I think women marry potential, and
I think women do it far more
some men
than men.
marry a come up. Is that what you're talking about?
Wait a minute. High five to the.
Some men are marrying for the come up. They're not marrying for the potential. Nah, I don't believe.
Let me upgrade you. Sorry. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
He can't marry. So he was marrying the upgrade. And you gonna fix the upgrade to be the trophy wife. But ooh, this one got a trophy.
He messed up. Too late now.
So, what say ye? I do agree that women marry potential far more than men, but I think because men are visual, they will often compromise for certain things and have that thing that is visually pleasing to them.
Yeah, but okay. A man who marries a woman because she is his dime piece, or is it 50 cent now? I don't know. But she that one.
Mm-hmm.
Are they trying to teach them to cook? Or do they care if they clean? No, that's not what he married her for.
So what is it? Who will talk about the 80-20 rule? And so, okay, so now you got the problem. So now you know why.
I don't think they see it as a problem. That's not what they married you for.
Oh, okay. And so just because it's not a problem initially.
Okay, it may become
Okay,
a problem after that.
because-
Good thing we're off.
because
that sweet thing.
initially, cute wear off, looks fade.
And then he go get him a younger model. That's what happens. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna need one. You know, like the newspaper used to roll up and folks would just pop you with the newspaper.
Why you want to pop me, Melanie? I'm just telling the truth. This is what happens. It's been happening since the beginning of time. He gonna get him a new sweet young thing that he can play with. He don't care if she cook or clean.
Man.
The men who care if you cook or clean, know you can cook or clean before they marry you.
What just happened?
I don't know.
What just happened?
She said, when a man finds a wife.
I'm saying, so guys, you are, well, we don't have none of y'all out there that like pour into your women. Like, I just need to, I see that she the one, and I love her heart. I love the way she move, but I see.
When you love somebody, that's what you do anyway.
But don't you have to see it though first? Like, before you marry him, like man, don't you have the conversation like when we're talking about our goals and life's ambitions? Like,
not all the time, because it changes over time.
But initially,
she could be interested in one thing when you meet her, and then in 10 years she want to do something else. Or if she like me and you, that game changed frequently.
Or she gonna do it all at the same time.
Or she doing it all at the same time.
Like, people ask me today, what you do for a living? And I just look at them cockeyed. Like, I don't, where do I begin?
I'll start with what my degree is in, and then I'll work down from there.
See, when I was doing therapy for a time, I used to say, I'm a therapist. And even years after I stopped doing therapy full time, I was still a therapist. It didn't matter I was CEO. It didn't matter, if I was wellness coaching or whatever. It didn't matter because I was still a therapist,
So if you ask me, that's what I'm going to say.
Now, if you ask me what I do, I just kind of look at you sideways. I don't know
I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer. Because I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
And so when a man finds a wife, I think that sometimes as women, and this is where this conversation needs to go, the expectation of the woman. And so I think sometimes we're expecting husbands when it says a man, and we want all the selflessness and all the benefits of the husband, and he's still trying to figure that out. He's still becoming that. And I think we talked about that briefly in the beginning. Like, it's a process to him becoming that. And so the interesting part about that is, and the harsh reality is, some men never arrive at that. And that's why it's so important to literally consult God in marriage. And it can seem like the most likely candidate and not have his approval. And so I admonish you all, when you all are considering marriage, understand God is in covenant. And this is an ongoing thing that I have with couples and people who are in relationships, and they want to know about their relationship. I said, if I were you, I would pray about it. I said, but if you pray about this person, you're going to have to be ready for the answer, because the answer is going to come, because God is so concerned about marriage and what we invite him into. And so, and I am telling you, 9 times out of 10, everything just goes left.
I was going to say, and with all that praying and agreement.
Yep. And everything
you're going to have some
goes
better or worse, richer, poorer, sickness, health.
But before you marry him, you want, and you like, okay, is this person, God, should they be in my life or not? When I tell you before you get home, if they not supposed to be there, if not by the end of the week, it's over. When I tell you time after time after time, I'm having this conversation with women and I'm like, be ready for the answer. And I said, you ask God for the answer. Now, when he gives you the answer, because he's concerned about marriage and God is omnipresent. And so he understands exactly where you are and what you're going through in your situation. He's going to answer you about covenant because you're asking him about marriage. Now, you can go and retrieve it if you want to, but understood he answered you when you. Now, what you do with the answer.
Right. And hence we have high divorce rate.
Oh my gosh. Oh, ouch.
We gave the answer and y'all wasn't listening.
I did. I got the answer.
And you married him anyway.
Wait a minute. One of my girlfriends, and she's as old as my mom, and she looked at me, she says, he's not of you.
That's what you said? How'd you respond?
What was I supposed to say?
I'm asking, what did you
She
say?
said, why are you rushing? Then she laughed, why are you rushing? What was I supposed to say? I was in love.
That's what you said. I'm in love.
Well, maybe
Because I think a lot of people, whether they pray and God reveals the answer, or if they're in counseling or their friends are telling them.
So next time somebody say they're in love with somebody, I think our next answer need to be, but do you even like them? Could you imagine having children that act like them? Would you want your child to act like that? Would you want that replicated in your kids? And if the answer is no,
Don't do it.
So, y'all know we be scattered and talk about everything. We're going to need a board in the front of us saying, when a man finds a wife, or we're going to have a running board. Because so many conversations about life. And that's what we are. We just having real conversations about those things.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And sometimes it intertwines.
It intertwines.
That's all.
When a man finds a wife.
Okay, what's a wife? Because we didn't define what that means.
I think to a man it's different. I don't think that it's the same with every man, because a wife is a helpmeet and every man doesn't need the same help. But some women aren't capable of helping. And so sometimes what someone said about every woman is not a wife, but a woman that can be a wife to one man can fail horribly in another area. And so I know a young lady that was recently talking about, just being married to one individual and it didn't happen, and just trying to prepare and just a real spiritual conversation. And I was saying, well, now that God has groomed you to be a wife, because I remember a time in my life when I wanted to be a wife and God was like, I'm not sending no junk. I'm like, God, you just called me junk. But he was not just talking about me. He was talking about some of the situations, okay, you need to clear some things up. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I got it. But also, he said no mess. He didn't say no junk. He said, I'm not sending no mess. That's what he said. And so I think that sometimes we have all these little places in our life that sometimes just need to be addressed. That just need to be addressed. And timing is important.
Yes.
Timing is important. It's not that we don't have the potential or we're not. Sometimes we're in the wrong season with it. It's like, okay, well, I have the potential to be that and it's in me, but there's some things that I need to be shaping in before I can, You know, and so I wish that we would spend more time as women before we become wives. And I think we would spend more time becoming the self and deal with ourselves more, then we could be better wives to our husbands. You know, we could be better helpmeet and meet them in a more well-rounded way. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because I love the story of the virtuous woman, the proverbial woman, where, you know, she wore so many hats. I mean, she was just every woman, just exemplified in one person. And she had so many roles. She was that model of the immaculate wife, you know, the perfect wife, because she was spiritual, she was professional, you know, she even had somebody assigned to her natural tasks. She had her handmaidens assigned to her natural tasks, you know. And so she was a well-rounded woman. And I think that is where we have the opportunity now. Now we're not forced into marriage at such a young age that we're not able to take the time out to cultivate ourselves so we can be a whole woman. You know, because there's some things that we can't even force prematurely. We can force ourselves to keep house. You know, as women, innately, we can learn to keep house. We can have babies, and we can raise children. But there's some things that we can't teach them except we have a well-rounded experience. And so I think that now we can pass down the wisdoms of generation past.
They have it.
If they have it. That's true. You know, and so my mother knew that when my father died, that she couldn't tell me to go back to school. She had to show me to go back to school, because that was not something that she was given. So she understood that she had to be a model of that. And so some things we need to model for this generation, especially in these times, because we do live in a time, even today, where the children are do as I do, not what I say do, because I would have been the first to ask you, if it was that important to you, why didn't you do it? You know, and so sometimes we need those models in our life, whether it's our mother or our father, or we need those models. And if we spend more time as adults becoming whole, then I think once we're whole, we can choose better mates from a place of soundness versus a place of void, deficit, neglect, desperation. Desperation. That's a bad place to be when choosing a mate. You agree?
Yeah. Because you'll pick anything.
Well, here we go. More conversations with Jen and Mel. We're talking about when a man finds a wife, what say ye?
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Conversations with Jen and Mel. Please join us every Monday at 8 p.m. for new episodes on Facebook, YouTube, Rick.tv, and the Rick TV app by way of Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Join us again next time on Conversations with Jen and Mel.